Hello, everybody. Stephen J. here, and I'm here to do another book review. As you know, as the founder of Reclaim Your Time, one of the activities I suggest you to do, as opposed to the mindless scrolling on social media or endless binge watching, is reading books. And today I'm reviewing a book by a local author, local to me here in Colorado, named Katie Brinkley, and the book is called The Social Shift. And this book is an interesting read. It's about 180 pages, and I think there's a bunch of books that are around that length, which makes them, for some more advanced readers, we'll call it an afternoon read, but something you can easily knock out in like a week or two, just kind of casually reading here and there. And one thing I'll tell you is that that's not an excessively dense read, and it's not a read of, like, say, a heavy philosophical book where it'll take you a long time to think through. The words, the verbiage is pretty straightforward. The primary message I got that I really resonated with in this book is kind of what the real purpose of social media is. And what she reminds you is that the real purpose of social media is to connect people. And one of the reasons why I do what I do with regards to helping people overcome the challenges related to screen time is that social media has kind of lost sight of its initial purpose. It's become a lot about just kind of capturing your attention, as you know, and grabbing you in so that they can sell as much products. And there's also the concept of brain rot, where it's bringing you content that's really not enhancing your life. And in this book, Katie consistently kind of messages you that, like, what you're doing on social media is building community. Now, I do have a couple of points of a little bit of slight disagreement. One of them is that I honestly believe that as much as it is great to build connections online, the connections you build online are never going to be quite as powerful, or the individual interactions are just never as powerful as the ones that you build in person. When I set up meetings with people, if someone lives locally, anywhere in the Denver metro area for that matter, I really try to lean into meeting with them in person rather than, say, over Zoom or some other kind of video call, because I do feel a deeper connection. One other thing I would say is that this book was published in 2023, which is not that long ago in the grand scheme of things, but in the scheme of technology, it can actually, things can get dated pretty quickly. And one of the things that got, I'd say, a little bit dated in this book is the reference to the metaverse. Speaking here in, say, April of 2025, I'm not hearing really anyone talk about the metaverse right now. Occasionally I'll hear someone say, okay, I don't think it's completely dead. I think people will find applications for it. Now, I have my own feelings on virtual reality, which is that I love the idea of using it for certain purposes that make certain things possible, education purposes. And I'm envisioning, say, being able to see the anatomy of a hurricane using VR goggles. Yet I don't really want to see the metaverse ever get in a place where it's replacing an interaction that could be taking place in person. And the same thing can be said about some of the other Web3 stuff. 2 years can be a long time in just technological trends and advancements. But other than that, I really liked it. And I would say the other thing about this book is it leans heavily and tells you a lot about developing a social media strategy, about things like sequencing certain types of posts, as well as, how to connect a community there. So if you're looking for, say, some tips on how to build your own social media presence, there's a lot in this book for you that I would say, based on many years of experience in digital marketing, which you can see in Katie's biography on the back. Anyway, hope you like this book review, and I'll be reviewing some other books in the future. And as I always say, if you need any help managing your own use of technology, please visit reclaimyourtime.co, reclaimyourtime.co, my web address, where you can get a hold of me and find out all the offerings we have at Reclaim Your Time.